Hi, I'm Elijah from Urban Leaf. If you're new to the channel or haven't heard of us before, we help city dwellers fall in love with gardening and be part of a food system that puts the planet and its people first. So, why garden indoors? First off, a lot of people don't have any other option. About 20% of the US population lives in apartments or condos, and urbanization doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Even for those of us who might have a little space for an outdoor garden, winter cuts the growing season down significantly depending on where you live. Growing your own food in general is probably a good idea since we have some huge issues in this world like pesticide residues on crops, aquifer depletion in key agricultural regions, increased seasonality due to climate change forcings, and supply chain failures as we've all seen as of late. In addition, 10% of US households experience food insecurity on a yearly basis. It's horrifying, but there are a lot more reasons than just the negative for why you should grow food indoors. Growing your own food can save you money, provide fresher, more nutritious produce. Also, it's a lot of fun and pretty rewarding when you get into it. One thing we hear a lot from people who are interested or just getting started with growing food indoors is that they don't have access to good information, and there's a lot of it out there, so it can be pretty hard to parse through and find something that meets your individual needs. Indoor gardening is a new resurgence of some older trends, and with all the different techniques and products, one can easily get overwhelmed. That's why we're here, and we have a ton of good information and blogs on this exact topic. But there are a few key differences between indoor and outdoor gardening. These are: number one, lighting source. 2, general setup, construction, how to go about making your system. And then if you're growing hydroponically in particular, there are a few key questions that you're going to need to figure out, such as what substrate to use, your watering method or your hydroponic technique, as well as your nutrients and pH balance within your system. Now, all this information is out there, and there are tons of blogs and forums that can provide you with all the information that you could possibly need. But I have to stress one thing: be prepared to iterate, change your setup, and make adjustments based on your results. This is the essence of successful gardening and farming, and it certainly should be applied to indoor gardening as well. Just because you put $100, say, into some grow equipment doesn't mean it's going to work perfectly for you without making proper adjustments. It's a real shame to see people give up on growing food indoors after a few modest failures. That's how we all learn. So what are you going to need in order to make the change to indoor gardening? Well, let's break down the different reasons for indoor gardening and why you might be doing it, and then we can discuss the best ways to go about it. If you're just keeping your outdoor plants alive during the winter by bringing them inside, this is pretty popular, and it's done with a ton of container plants because they're already in containers, the soil's already handled, and you'll just want to make sure you keep up on watering the plants regularly. The only additional thing you may need is a grow light if the plants won't be receiving a similar light intensity to what they were receiving outdoors, although this depends on your location and your window direction. But we have a great blog on lighting supplementation here. Otherwise, just be sure to apply a little fertilizer come springtime, and you should be good to go with your container plants. If you're trying to just grow food and soil year-round indoors, that can work, and you can get away with it just by using pots or containers with supplemental lighting from a grow light. But this method opens you up to a few issues, such as pests love soil indoors and they don't have the natural defenses against them. Watering can be inefficient and precise with soil, as well as the fact that soil takes up a lot of space and is not going to be nearly as efficient for growing food as hydroponics. Which is why a lot of indoor growers switch over to growing plants hydroponically. This is the practice of growing plants with their roots suspended in a nutrient-rich water solution. There are tons of different techniques out there, but the key components of most of them are your reservoir, your nutrient solution, the substrate or the actual material where the base of the plant is held so that it stays upright and can grow properly. And then some sort of air and or water circulation in addition to, of course, your main source of lighting. Now, the combinations of these factors are endless, but there are some great beginner systems out there to get you started on that path. Check out this video here for some comparisons. No matter your reason for taking your gardening game indoors, there are tons of resources and solutions for just you. You can find some great guides linked below, and we've got plenty of good resources here again. And please like and subscribe for more indoor gardening content. Thank you.